The accused in this case is Cory Fenn. He is now facing 3 counts of second-degree murder, and the crime scene, which as you can see right behind me is still very much an active scene, is where he listed as his home on court documents. The 29-year-old made his first court appearance today. He stood in the prisoner's box in the Oshawa courthouse wearing a blue shirt and gray track pants. He had a black eye, bruises and lacerations on his face. He kept his eyes closed and looked down while the charges were read to him. At the end, the judge suggested he seek medical attention once in prison. Here's police now on where they found him after an intense manhunt yesterday.
Investigators advised me that our tactical support unit attended an address in Oshawa yesterday evening, and this is when he was arrested and he was taken into custody without incident, and I know that he's now before the courts.
And here's what we're learning about his criminal history. Fenn was previously convicted for assaulting a police officer back in 2009. 2 years later, a charge of mischief followed. Now, he received a suspended sentence for both. And here's what we're learning about where he worked. We're learning that he worked at the TDSB in maintenance, and he was a frequent visitor of the Lifetime Athletic Gym, just a 10-minute drive away from where I'm standing now. One staffer telling me that he went there every day. Now, Fenn will be back up on court in March 29th, and coming up, we'll break down the timeline of police when they were called and the chains of events finding both the victims and the suspect. And the suspect in this case is 29-year-old Cory Fenn. Court documents tell us that he lived inside the house, and police say that he had a relationship with Roy's mother. Now, the details about what happened have not been released, nor has the cause of death, but that's not the only mystery. While we were at the house yesterday, fire and EMS raced back to the scene, and initially it wasn't clear why. We know police were called around 11 and found one person dead, another clinging to life, taken to hospital. But we later learned there were 3 total victims, the mother and her 2 teen children. Police told us today there was no delay in discovery.
The second party was located, obviously, after the first. I don't have a time frame as to when. I know that it is protocol for us to contact EMS to come and do to advise a pronunciation of death. So I know that they did attend, and that person obviously was pronounced. I don't have the time frame of that. I mean, it is before the courts right now, so I'm not going to be able to get into the specifics. These are all details that will be outlined in the court process.
And 29-year-old Cory Fenn has been charged with 3 counts of second-degree murder. He'll be back up in court on March 29th.